Hey guys, and welcome back to Mortgage Mondays. We have Mike Longman with the Mortgage Firm with us as usual. Mike, thanks for stopping by.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Okay, it's always a pleasure. Listen, we've got quite a lot to hit on today, so we want to try and make sure we hit everything. So let's start off with where we left off last time with the Hometown Heroes Fund. I know when it started 2 weeks ago, there was what, $36 million in the pot?
Yep.
Got an update? Can you tell us where we're at right now?
As of Friday, the other day it was down to 26 million. So it's going. I think it'll stall a little bit because of the holidays right now. I mean, Thanksgiving. I don't know if it'll make us till Christmas.
Yeah, we got Thanksgiving this week, so I think it's going to be a quiet week overall. So hopefully,
yes, that'll probably stall its spending a little bit. So I think there'll be some money right after the holiday, and hopefully we have that 4, 5, 6 weeks after Thanksgiving where people can just really put the pedal to the metal and get out there.
No, it really is such a great program. Do you see this one being a program that extends into 2024 with fresh round of financing?
I do. I mean, they haven't said anything to let us to believe that, but it's such a big help for the economy and for the housing market down here. I really think they're gonna, like everybody says, hey, they got to do something, right? And that's a good thing to do. It's a great program. I mean, people absolutely love it. It's one of those programs when you close one, people are like, oh my God, I got into a house for it was like $780 total out of my pocket. Like it's
Yeah, and if I was a renter right now looking at renewing my lease in the next couple of months, it's definitely something I'd be taking advantage of because, as I said, if you can get your 5% down payment taken care of you for an FHA loan at 3.5%, it's quids in. I mean, it really is.
yeah.
I say quids in. It's a very British thing to say, but
Yeah, I didn't even know what you
no-brainer.
just said. What did you just say? What was that?
I said quids in because we work in pounds, which are quids in the UK. So,
I got you.
all right. So look, one of the things that are putting people off buying right now, interest rates. We've seen rates drop pretty much week on week for the last couple of weeks. Where are we right now? Approximately. I know you can't give exact numbers.
I mean, I had a couple FHA loans the other day that I put in at 6.99%. So I squeaked it under there, did a little bit on our end to get the 6 in front of it. It made me feel good, made them feel good as well. But I mean, we're back down solid into the low 7s now. So it's a good thing. I mean, it's a big difference. We had a couple weeks there where we were talking, 8s, mid 8s. Those are numbers that it's not that big of a difference monthly, but it scares people. So it's nice to.
No, it really does. But I think one of the memes that I saw from another realtor this week or last week was I think rates were at 7.5, and people were saying, "Oh, we're gonna wait for them to drop," and they dropped a stat that was if you'd waited for rates to drop in 1974 when they hit 7.5%, you'd have waited 22 years. Now, I don't think we're going to be waiting 22 years for rates to drop, but it tells a story that look, buy the house. The difference in your great little 3-4% interest rate now and the 7% interest rate, yeah, it's a chunk of change. But if you look at the way that houses are appreciating in the market at the moment, especially Tampa, which is one of the top 10 markets in the country, over the course of the year, that 10%, that difference in your monthly payments is going to be dwarfed by the amount of equity you build in the house just purely by the appreciation of that property.
Yeah, and the other thing is, like a lot of people say, I'm going to wait for rates to go down. Let's say they go down to 5%. We have to understand where we live. We are in Florida. It is a hot market. People want to come to Florida. So if rates were to drop, if you have a perfect house, your perfect ideal house, and it's $500,000 right now, and you're going to pay 7% interest rate on it, and then you wait 6 months and say that house happens to be on the market and rates are 5%, well, you're going to be competing against 35 other people. And guess what? That house is $500,000.
Bids. We're going to get back to over asking.
And then the house is going for $575 at 5% interest. Your payments are higher anyway.
Look, there are two great reasons to buy right now. One, a lot of the people who want to buy are put off by rates and put off by the fact that it's winter and they don't want to necessarily make that move during the holidays. It's a great time to buy. I think January is an awesome time to buy as well because people are now starting to plan their 2024 home purchases. So if you're in the market for a home right now and you have the ability to pull the trigger, obviously you've got things like Hometown Heroes that will help you with your down payment. It's a great time to buy. But another great thing to buy from what you were saying are multifamilies. When you let people know the great news you heard on multifamilies recently.
Yeah, so Fannie Mae made an announcement that if you're buying a multi-family house, 2 to 4 unit home, you know, obviously anything over 4 units puts it into commercial, but in a residential space, a 2 to 4 unit home, they always required a higher down payment. It was always like if you went to a 3 or a 4 unit home and you wanted to live in one of them and rent the other 3 out, you had to put 25% down on the house, which is a big chunk of change when you're looking at a 5, 6, $700,000 house.
Yeah, a $500,000 house is 125 grand down payment.
Yeah, so now they said they lowered it down to 5% across the board. So if it's a 2, 3, or 4 unit home and you're going to live in it, you only have to put 5% down.
So let's that sounds crazy. So let's just work that out. So if you're looking at a $500,000 house, a multi-family, so 4-family, $500,000, you're going to live in it, and you're going to have 3 income generating properties within that unit.
Correct.
You only got to put down $25,000 to get in there, and then your mortgage is going to get paid by the 3 people you're in with anyway. It's
well,
like living for free.
Think about it. I mean, I'm not a realtor, but when you rent property, you ask for what, a month and a half, 2 months security deposit up front?
Yeah, normally a month and a half, 2 months.
Okay, so there you go. There's your 25 grand back.
No, you can't use security deposits.
No, you can't use it, but it's psychological money. It's psychological money. It's going to be put into your renter's account, right? So you write $25,000 from your personal account to buy the house, and then you find your tenants, and you go ahead and you get their security deposit and you put it in your renter's account and you hold it in there. So it's like found money.
Now, question for you. If we're being really smart with this, can I use Hometown Heroes to buy a 4-family?
If they're going to live in it.
If I'm going to live in it.
Correct.
So wait, hang on, because this is just crazy. So I can buy a 4-family income generating property for $25,000 down if it's a $500,000 home. But I can also use Hometown Heroes to give me up to 5% of the purchase price, which is $25,000. So effectively, you can get into an income generating 4-family home. I mean, if you can find one at 4 family.
I'll have to check. I will check that guideline because I don't want to put my foot in my mouth. I could actually.
All right, we will post an update on this one. It'll go onto my social media, but we'll definitely post an update on this one. But theoretically, you could buy a 4-family income generating house and have Hometown Heroes cover your 5% down payment. That's a no-brainer.
Yeah, there's so many down payment assistance programs like Chenoa. I don't know if you know Chenoa. Chenoa is another down payment assistance where they can give you 5%, just like Hometown Heroes. It's not as aggressive of a program, but they just announced this week that they used to have a first and a second mortgage, and the second mortgage always tailed the first mortgage, but had a 2% higher interest rate. So if your first mortgage was 8.5, you'd be 10.5 on the second, and it's repayable. They just announced that their second mortgage is going to mirror their first mortgage. So everybody's doing something to push the market along. So right now, there's buyers are in the driver's seat. You know, there's a little bit of leverage. If you're taking a client out right now, you can ask for seller concessions. I mean, it's an aggressive time right now for the buyer to be in the driver's seat, like where we've been in the past few years. You know.
So okay, so again, like I get really excited about this stuff. So theoretically, I'm buying a house. I'm using Hometown Heroes to pay for my down payment effectively at 5%. And then because the market's so aggressive right now, I can ask the seller to pay towards a rate drop as well. So they can buy down my
rate drop. You can't buy the rate down on Hometown Heroes, but you can ask the seller to pay all your closing costs.
So they can cover my closing costs. Okay.
Then
so now not only are you getting into a house for no money down effectively, you're actually getting paid because they're going to cover your closing costs.
And then Hometown Heroes, you can use the full 5% to put down on a house. So it's your lower principal.
Wow, it's a phenomenal time. I was expecting a lot of good information today, guys, but Mike, you've absolutely blown out of the water today. But there's one more thing. I think so explain this one for everyone who at the higher end. So I know that Fannie Mae just increased the price threshold for what's a conforming and non-conforming loan as far as jumbo is concerned. So tell us a little bit about that.
So the conforming loan limit was $726,000 earlier. They just raised it to $750,000. So what that means now is you could essentially buy a house, put 5% down on it, and have a loan for. So you could buy a house for what, $750,000. You could buy a house for $775,000, say, and put 5% down. You're still conforming loan size. Because Florida doesn't have Florida doesn't have a agency jumbo limit through Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac like New Jersey does. New Jersey would end at 726, now 750, and between 750 and I don't know what it is, up to probably 900,000 is considered agency limits. And then after that, we go to true jumbo, where Florida goes right from conforming to true jumbo. So that's big news because it allows you to stay at a couple extra buyers a year to stay out of that jumbo category and pay those extra rates and deal with all the.
No, especially with area like Tampa, where maybe you were looking at a house that was on the water and maybe it was just a little bit out of your range and you didn't want to go to a jumbo loan. Now it gives you that opportunity to be able to stay into a conventional financing loan and kind of save some extra funds, especially if you're using Hometown Heroes.
There's a lot of good things going on right now, and it's, you know, people, if you're even remotely thinking and somebody's putting in your ear, just wait, let the rates drop, talk to a real estate guy, talk to Gavin, and just, I mean, you can, and I hate to say, you could always refinance. Everybody always says you can always refinance down the road. Like, we don't have a crystal ball, but
I hate the marry the mortgage, date the rate nonsense.
Yes, me too.
Like, we were sat in a training conference that I was just telling you off camera. But the difference between your low rates at a lower value and a much higher rate that we have right now, compared to what appreciation will give you in equity, it's night and day. And you might spend an extra $7,000 over the course of the year on your increased rate, but you're going to make 10% on your home purchase in appreciation in the way that the Tampa market is right now. And again, Tampa is one of the top 10 hottest markets in the country.
Yeah. You know, it's a really a great time, and right now with not that many buyers out there because of the holidays, you walk into a home right now, you're in the driver's seat.
Yeah, I mean, you walk in the home and ready to buy your Billy Big Balls. It's like you can pretty much ask for what you want, and like we got homes right now that are getting no views because people just aren't looking at the moment. We got open houses that are getting nobody coming through. So if you walk in and you're making even a quasi realistic offer, people are going to start listening to you. You know what? You want me to leave grandma behind so she can keep making those cookies? Leave grandma behind and we'll put her in this bedroom. It's like nothing's off the table right now. It's not a true buyer's market, but we're getting close. Yeah,
we're getting close, and you know, we're getting a little bit of leverage, and there's sellers that are getting a little nervous out there.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a great time.
Yeah, you look at the price drops that are 15, 30 days after listing, and there's some considerable price drops. I mean, there's some considerably poor priced houses to start off with people overreaching, but it's a fun market right now.
It is.
All right, well, Mike, look, it was great to have you again. Thank you very much for stopping by. We will be back with you in 2 weeks.
Yep.
We will follow up on that full family Hometown Heroes question, and we'll chuck that on my social media, Ginger Realtor on Instagram. But Mike, thank you very much for stopping by. Have a great week.
Thank you. You guys have a great Thanksgiving. Thanks.
Right, that's right, guys. Thanksgiving's on Thursday. Don't eat too much turkey. Hopefully the Dallas Cowboys will get beat. And we'll see you next time.
You got it, guys. See ya.